Right, hello everyone, this is Bev, Clarkovision, and this is the first part of the vinyl update that I had mentioned I was going to be doing after the last CD update I just did. I think I've got what seems to be something like 16 records to show that I've collected over the month, which is quite a lot when I think about it. It's quite amazing. And so I've split them into two groups of about 8 each. So I thought I would just get on and get this one out of the way. So if you had happened to watch my last video, which was the CD update, you would have seen me showing this album on CD, Saint Demon Ghost. And I was going on in that video about how whenever I tried to look for it, it was quite pricey. It was around the £30 mark, and that was before postage and all the rest of it, etc, etc. And then it occurred to me, after I bought the CD, there's one place I don't think I checked, and that was Amazon Germany. I thought, I'll just wonder, so I threw it in. I went across and I threw it in the search box, and lo and behold, up comes Saint Demon Ghost. And it had one left, or last one in stock it said, and it was priced at about €21 or something like that, which is about £19. And I thought, well, yeah, that's considerably less than the 30 odd pounds I had been seeing them priced around. So I thought, right, I'll just go for it. Last one. It's a decent enough price for that, and you know, considering there was only a limited number, I don't know, was it, how many were pressed? Only a few hundred. I thought, right, I'll just go and grab it. So, and right enough, it was delivered, and it was brand new and sealed. The only thing, however, though, is I suppose is the cover, the sleeve. Can you maybe make it out in the shiny light? There's been a bit of a crease in this corner here, because that was dented and it's been folded or creased, or something's been put on it maybe. So that was that. And I think as well, you can sort of notice it on the inside, because it's obviously a gatefold. I mean, there's a bit of a kind of dent, but it's nothing too serious. You know, the actual sleeve isn't broken or anything, and the record, more importantly, the records, because there's two of them, are absolutely fine. So I was absolutely thrilled to get this for, you know, about £19, which, you know, was absolutely fantastic. I think it was available through Amazon UK, but it was much dearer. It was something like £35. I can't even remember, to be honest, but it was definitely not as cheap as £19. So there you have lyrics and credits and all that jazz. And one other thing about this one is this is the ultra limited silver vinyl version as well, which I think was only about 100 of these ones pressed. Not sure, I can't remember what it said on Discogs, but this is a silver pressing as well. So it was nice to get. I wasn't fussed whether I got this or the black vinyl, to be honest, but just to have this, it's quite nice. It's kind of a marbly, swirly kind of effect. Sorry, that's the right way up. But both records are just the same, but I thought it was really cool to have, so I'm finally delighted to get this record on vinyl, this album on vinyl, because it's really good. I know Brendan's been singing the praises a lot, and I know he's kind of got me and Vinyl Hazard, Daniel, he's got that, he sparked his interest in them as well, and I think it's safe to say all three of us agree that it's a good album, very good album. So there we have the track listing. So yeah, so that was one record. And that's one of the last ones to come in. This didn't come in early in the month, this come in kind of towards the end of the month here. And if you'd also watched that previous video, you would have seen I showed 2 Blazing Stone CDs. Now, when I acquired those, it meant I was only needing one more record to then acquire their entire catalogue, which was this record. So this, I think this was their 4th album, Down in the Dark, and this one came out 2017. Limited 460, 500, that one is hand numbered on Underground Power Records. Great artwork. As you can see, it's a very pirate influenced, this one also. And so this here completes my entire Blazing Stone catalogue. I've got everything that they released, and I've got all their main albums on vinyl. I just have the EP, Ready for Boarding, and the live album, which is Live in the Dark. That was this live CD that came out with this album at the same time. So I'm absolutely delighted. And again, this is fantastic. This is a really quality album. Very, very excellent stuff. So yeah, Underground Power. You get a nice kind of quality card inner, kind of a bit similar in a way to the quality of High Roller, some of these ones actually. And on this side you've got the lyrics on the back. It just comes in a plain inner sleeve, and it is just the black vinyl version, this one, and that doesn't really bother me at all. So I'm absolutely chuffed to get this. So yes, trying to think, and I ordered this directly from Underground Power Records. It was the last one they had left, apparently. I spotted it through their eBay shop actually, because Underground Power Records, they do have an eBay shop as well as, you know, their website. So as I said, it was eBay I spotted it, so I just went and I grabbed it. And also from Underground Power, I decided I would pick up this album as well. It's one I've had my eye on for quite a while since I discovered it through YouTube. Again, Underground Power. Now this is a limited edition of only 250 of these were pressed. And this is a band called Silverbones, and it's Wild Waves. Now again, you'll see the kind of piratey style artwork. This one, they didn't fill the number in of what number this was for some reason, but whatever. Now these guys, Silverbones, are from Italy. They had released an EP, I think, before this, and this is the only full-length album they've released so far, and it came out in 2016 on Underground Power, so it's been out a while. But again, I really like this because they're kind of do the same kind of thing as what Blazing Stone do. They're very much running wild worship kind of stuff. That's basically what they are. I would say Blazing Stone are better. Not these guys, not quite as amazing, but this album is still really very excellent, I would say, which is why I've bought it. You know, I've liked it enough to buy. So yeah, but these guys are from Italy. Similar kind of style to the other one. That's the actual band. You do get a picture of the band here, 4 of them. And on this side you have all the lyrics, and again it is also just on the black vinyl. But yeah, really enjoyable stuff. Great kind of pirate influenced power metal, just really done running wild style. So I'm really chuffed to get that as well. So they both came from Underground Power. So next we go back to High Roller Records. That's where I got the two Blazing Stone CDs from. But the two, I got two vinyl at the same time, and just new release. I was pulling the trigger on the High Spirits latest album from 2020, Hard to Stop, and here it is. Just really great melodic hard rock, melodic metal, whatever you want to call them. This is a High Roller Records release, nice glossy cover. Oops, there we go. The inside of this is all black, incidentally. And I just went for the black vinyl edition. It comes out in a few colours. If you've seen Cloudy Milder's recents, you would have seen he picked the white version. High Spirits return with a brilliant new album, heavier than ever, brighter than before, always the first name in 100% high energy rock. And that pretty much says what they are. It's uplifting, high energy, bright music. It's exactly what I like. So I was really chuffed to discover this band, and it's thanks to Cloudy that I did, because his channel was the first place I saw anybody show this band, High Spirits, and I thought, no idea who they are, but the cover intrigued me because it was the one You Are Here. It was like the Underground map cover, and that really intrigued me. I thought, well, what kind of music do they sound like, you know, with the kind of cover? But so we have a nice curved lyric sheet. We have the High Roller Records list. The only thing on mine was that I think it's just the way it's been put in. That was kind of torn slightly, but it's not actually caused any problems to the polylining, you know, because this is a polylined sleeve. And there is the lovely black. It's kind of a black label on black vinyl. So beautiful stuff. Really good if you want some newer hard rock to enjoy. Check them out, guys. So the other record that I ordered through High Roller, I'll just put the hype sticker with that, was another one I've had on my want list for a while, and I thought, well, I better just take this one out now as well. This one also comes with a bonus 7-inch, and it's another album by this band, Ancient Empire, and it's The Tower. Now I think this was it their second or third? I'm not too sure. I know it's not their first, and I know it's not their last. So this is The Tower by Ancient Empire, and this was released on Underground Power Records again, but I got this through High Roller's website. And this one is number 336 of a limited amount of 350. And it came with bonus, well, not bonus, with extra kind of 7-inch single. Interestingly enough, you'll see on the back it's got side A, side B, side C and side D. Well, this is side C and side D, and it actually says that on the label. Side C, side D, and it's just one track on each side, and yes, this is polylined as well. So you've got Endless Curse on one side and the Battle of Stirling Bringe, B-R-I-N-D-G-E, Bring, I don't know, Battle of Stirling Bringe. So I don't know if it's something to do with Stirling in Scotland, or God knows what. But anyway, I haven't listened to this yet. I've listened to the album, but I've actually listened to this part, which I guess I should really. And it also plays at 33 RPM according to what it says on the label, which I guess is keeping with the speed of the rest of the LP. So these guys are kind of just like new wave of traditional metal kind of stuff. Really good. I can't remember where they came from. I'm sure Kevin Ward was 60. He'll know. He's got all these this band's releases, I think, as well. And again, you've got another lyric sheet. And again, this is also black vinyl. I think the first 100 or something came on green or something, but this was just the black version, which I'm quite happy to have. As you know, I'm a bit like everybody else. I'm not too fussed for the colour. I don't mind colour now and again, but I'm just equally as happy to have the black. So there we have that. And what else have I got here? And then there was one I just recently discovered this band as well, because I discovered that they are releasing a new album in October this year. And that's coming out through No Remorse Records, I believe. And then I really loved the song that they've got up. They've got one track up on YouTube, and I thought, oh, that sounds so good. I'm going to have to possibly check into them or pre-order it. And so I went and investigated a little bit more about this band and discovered they've been around since the 80s. And they released this self-titled EP in 1985, and this is a reissue. This was reissued through Cult Metal Classics label by Sonic Age Records. This was reissued in 2016, and I think there was only about maybe 500 of these released, I believe. And again, so many were on a coloured vinyl. This again is black. But this originally came out in 1985. It doesn't say the original record label, but original release 1985. And these guys are American. I can't remember where from. I could be wrong. Portland, Oregon seems to ring a vague bell, but I might be wrong. And it tells you that's the band members, the main band members, I think, for the most part. They have a different vocalist for track 1 and a different vocalist for track 2. And then the third vocalist sings on all 3 of the songs on side B. So there's 5 tracks in total. It doesn't tell you the vocalist. The vocalist isn't pictured here, but the vocalist who sang on the 3 tracks on side B is the current vocalist who's reignited the band, and he's got a new band together, different members to the original guys. But he's got the okay from the original Glacier band members, and he's the one working on the new record that's coming up. So this is Glacier, self-titled EP, 5 tracks. Members of the band back in the day: Sam Easley on guitar. Unfortunately, I believe he's passed away now. Lauren Bates on drums, Patrick Goebel on guitar, and Tim Proctor on bass. So these were the original members back in the 80s. And it comes on a very nice printed up inner sleeve, which basically tells the whole story of Glacier. It starts here and it says the story of Glacier. And you get a bit of input from original band members. And some of the other vocalists that came in to sing on the other tracks as well. It tells you here the different vocalists. So the vocalists, Keith Flax sang, let me get this right, track 1. Rex McNew, he sang track 2, and Mike I might get this pronounced wrong. Mike Podrobau, he sang track 3. And then Tim Proctor, he sang track 4. And then Tim Proctor, he sang track 5. And then He sings all the 3 tracks on side B, and he is currently still in Glacier with a new album that's coming out. But they've got the other band members are different. So, if that all makes sense. So yeah. And I believe, I don't know if this Cult Metal Classics, I'm not sure if they're an Italian-based label either, but they're another label that are kind of trying to grab rights to some old kind of random rare EPs and albums that bands maybe threw out one and done style maybe, and they're trying to get some reissued. This was one of them, so, and it's 180 gram. So there we go. So it was really, it's quite tricky to find this as well, because it's, you know, the reissue's only limited, and I believe the original is quite highly priced on Discogs. I think to get a nice version you're paying almost into the £100 area, I think. So I thought, well, forget it, I'm not paying that just for 5 tracks. In fact, I wouldn't even be paying that, I don't think, for 12 tracks. So. But yeah, but this, you know, it's 1985, these songs were kind of recorded and originally released, and it's just traditional US classic rock from the mid-80s, kind of, you know, very melodic metal kind of stuff, great stuff. So the last 2 I'm showing here are originals from back in the day. So was out, and first time in a long time in a charity shop I popped into, and I spotted this, and I had recalled hearing about this band before, and I thought, okay, they're kind of rocky or something, I think. So I picked it up because it was about £4 or something. In the Oxfam charity shop, and pretty nice condition. It does have minor edge wear and slight ring wear and stuff. This is a US pressing, and it's also, it just so happens to be a promo only, gold stamp promo. It also has the original Hype sticker. These were obviously single releases. Features Stacey, Thrill of It All, and Dearborn Station. So Fortune, I believe, were from America, and they're kind of just melodic hard rock or AOR kind of style rock. And so I was curious enough to buy it, and it came out in 1980. Here's the year, 1985. On MCA Records, and you'll notice on this MCA record here, there's a camel. See, it's got MCA and camel, and obviously there's a picture of a camel. Now, I've never seen the MCA label like that before, because, you know, normally it's just the rainbow and the clouds, but you've obviously got, this is kind of like desert sand, I guess, hence the camel. So that was a new one on me, having this kind of label. I've never seen that before, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But the record itself is in very nice condition. There is a few light surface marks, but it plays very well and quite clean, and it just came in a plain inner sleeve. The inner sleeve is a bit torn, because the original one had the sort of, it was square but it had more rounded corners than this. Which is kind of how the US ones come. I've got another couple of US ones like that, so. But yeah, I thought that was pretty alright to have, and personally I think these 3 tracks here must have been singles, as I've said, but they're all on side A, these 3 tracks. But when I was listening, I actually prefer side B of this album to side A for some reason. I just think the tracks on side B are better. And the other one, which I grabbed, found this on eBay, and this solved a bit of a mystery. It was a funny old thing. This is Rocco. I think it's pronounced Rocco. I think it's either Rocco or Rocco, but self-titled German heavy metal. This is the debut, and this came out in 1990 on Polydor. And the mystery about this is once upon a time back in, I guess, 1990 it would be, or 91 perhaps, when I was listening to my local heavy metal show on the local radio, there was a track played by a band, and I recorded it onto my cassette, and it was a cover of Jefferson Starship's Jane, because I knew, you know, the original was Jefferson Starship, and this band that were playing, like the sound of it, and it was a really kind of cool metal style version of the song Jane. And I taped it onto this tape, and I no longer have those tapes, and I've always remembered the song. I've always remembered this version of that song, and I could not remember the name of the band. For the life of me, I could not, and over the years I could never find out. I even searched the internet, but I managed to find out a few weeks back. And what's more, I found the video up on YouTube, and I thought, yep, that is definitely the song. So when I think that was released in 1989, actually, was it 80? No, I said 1990, didn't I? Oh, it's 1990, it says on the back here, this album. And so, yeah, it's Rocco, and if you see there, track 2 is, that says Jane, and that's the Jefferson Starship cover. But this whole album is really good, just classic, back in the day, melodic hard rock from, you know, that time. Metal Mickey's listening to a lot of kind of the melodic, softer, glammy kind of stuff on his tapes at the moment. This is kind of maybe something you would put in that kind of category, a bit like that, just a slightly heavier glam, or kind of maybe, and you class them in the same territory as Bonfire, perhaps. But yeah, they went on to release a couple of other albums, I think. And so I found a copy of this on eBay, and I was absolutely ecstatic because I'd never heard that song Jane, this cover, properly before, since back in the day when I had my cassettes, which would be the early to mid-90s. So yeah, the inner sleeve is in really nice condition as well. There's a bit of a fusty smell, as if it's been stuffed away in somebody's attic for, you know, half a century perhaps, but the actual record itself, and I hope he doesn't copyright this phrase because I'm going to borrow it for a second, Brendan. It's actually minty fresh. It's that good. It's pretty minty. It's really in excellent condition. There is not a mark to be seen on the actual record. So that's the side 2, and that's side 1. Great album. Another band, if you want to try finding a cassette of this, you might enjoy it. And if anybody else out there wants to check them out, then please do. I guess, again, for these guys, it was probably a timing thing as well. They were just bringing out an album at the time when this kind of thing was on the outward, you know, it was kind of going out of style, I guess you could say. But yeah, excellent find, excellent album. So that is Rocco, and that is my blabbering. Half an hour just to show 8 albums. I'll need to get on. So I'll do the other 8 in another video, obviously, possibly over the weekend, hopefully over the weekend, to get them out of the way. So thanks for watching, thanks for putting up with my rambles, and I shall see you all later. Bye then now.